There are mornings when I want to feel good from the inside out, not just awake. Actually, good, clear, grounded, energized in a way that lasts past 10 a.m. This is what I make on those mornings. It looks like a blueberry smoothie, and it is. But what is actually in this glass, and what is it doing to your brain, to your nervous system, and your inflammation levels while you drink it? That is what most people have no idea about. And I'm going to show you exactly what goes in it, why each ingredient in there, and the science behind why this particular combination makes you feel the way it does. Everything I put in this smoothie, I put there for a reason. And once you understand the reason, making it stops feeling like a health choice and starts feeling like something you genuinely want to do for yourself. The foundation of this smoothie is blueberries. And I want to tell you why they deserve that title before we go any further. Blueberries are one of the most studied foods for brain health in nutritional neuroscience. Their primary active compounds are anthocyanins. That's the pigment that gives them that deep blue purple color. Anthocyanins cross the blood-brain barrier, which most compounds cannot do. And once inside, they accumulate in the brain regions associated with learning and memory, particularly the hippocampus. Here is what they do there. They increase the production of a protein called BDNF, brain-derived neurotrophic factor. BDNF is essentially your brain's growth hormone. It supports the survival of existing neurons. It promotes the growth of new ones and strengthens the connections between them. So low BDNF is consistently associated with cognitive decline, with depression, and poor memory. Higher BDNF means a brain that is more adaptable, more resilient, and more compatible, and more capable. Blueberries also reduce oxidative stress in the brain, the same mechanism your rosemary works on. Free radicals damaging neurons over time is one of the primary drivers of cognitive aging. Anthocyanins are among the most potent antioxidants found in any food. And all of that is in something that costs a few dollars and takes 30 seconds to add to a blender. The second ingredient is spinach. And most people add greens to smoothies because they have been told it is healthy, without knowing specifically what the greens are doing. Spinach is one of the richest dietary sources of magnesium, and magnesium is one of the most important minerals for your nervous system. Here is why that matters. Magnesium regulates NMDA receptors, the receptors involved in synaptic plasticity, with learning and memory. It also modulates the stress response by regulating HPA axis, the hormonal pathway that produces cortisol. So when magnesium is adequate, your nervous system has a natural buffer against stress. When it's deficient, which research suggests a significant portion of people are, your stress response becomes more reactive. Your sleep quality drops, your muscles tense, and your cognitive performance suffers. Spinach also contains folate, vitamin B9, which is essential for the synthesis of neurotransmitters, including serotonin and dopamine. Your brain cannot make the chemistry it needs for mood, motivation, and focus without adequate folate. A handful of spinach in a blender, invisible in the finished smoothie, doing an enormous amount of work. The third ingredient is ginger roots. And this is where the anti-inflammatory layer of this smoothie comes in. You have already heard me talk about ginger in the context of pain and inflammation. It suppresses prostaglandin synthesis, which reduces the inflammatory signaling that drives pain, swelling, and tissue damage. But ginger's relevance for brain health goes deeper than that. Neuroinflammation, inflammation in the brain specifically, is increasingly understood as a central driver of cognitive decline, of depression, and brain fog. The same inflammatory pathways that cause pain in your joints can cause functional disruption in your brain. Ginger crosses the blood-brain barrier and exerts anti-inflammatory effects directly in the central nervous system. Ginger also supports the gut-brain axis, the bidirectional communication pathway between your digestive system and your brain. Your gut produces approximately 90% of your body's serotonin. A gut that is inflamed or dysregulated sends stress signals to the brain constantly. Ginger's anti-inflammatory and digestive properties support a calmer gut, which means a calmer brain. 1 thumb of ginger, peel it, roughly chop it, it goes in. Now I add my liquid. I use coconut water rather than plain water or dairy milk, and there is a reason for that too. Coconut water is rich in electrolytes like potassium, magnesium, sodium, the minerals your brain and nervous system use to transmit electrical signals. Your neurons fire through electrochemical gradients, so adequate electrolytes mean those gradients function correctly. Dehydration and electrolyte imbalance are among the fastest ways to impair cognitive performance. If I want to add an extra inflammatory layer, I add a small amount of turmeric here. You have heard me talk about curcumin and its effect on neuroinflammation. With ginger already in the blend, the two work synergistically on the same inflammatory pathways. Now the blender. What I want you to notice when this blends is the color, that deep purple, almost indigo. That's the anthocyanins. Every time you see that color in a food, you're looking at a dense concentration of compounds that protect and nourish your brain. Nature color-coded its most powerful antioxidants. That color is not incidental, it is information. So, what is actually in this glass? You have anthocyanins crossing your blood-brain barrier and stimulating BDNF production. You have magnesium regulating your stress response and supporting neurotransmitter synthesis. Ginger reducing neuroinflammation and supporting the gut-brain axis. There's also electrolytes, keeping your neural signaling sharp. And if you added turmeric, curcumin supporting the same anti-inflammatory cascade at the cellular level. This smoothie addresses brain health, nervous system function, and inflammation simultaneously. Not because it was designed in a lab, but because these ingredients were grown in nature and your body knows exactly what to do with them. So this is what I mean when I say I make this because of what it does. The taste is the bonus. The function is the point. And this is one smoothie, one combination out of dozens I have developed around exactly this principle. Food that works with your biology deliberately, not accidentally. If you want more of them, combinations built for energy, for sleep, for recovery, for focus, I have put them together in my Smoothie Adventure ebook. Every recipe is built on the same foundation. The link is in the description below. Food is not separate from how your brain works. It never was. Every meal is either supporting your biology or asking it to work harder than it needs to. This smoothie takes 5 minutes. It costs less than most supplements. And it gives your brain and your nervous system some of the most well-researched compounds in nutritional science, delivered exactly the way nature intended. If this was useful, subscribe. Every week I share content on herbs, nutrition, brain health, and nervous system wellness, rooted in holistic health and neuroscience. Health Roots Holistic, rooted in nature, backed by science.